Welcome to another tutorial, and today we are installing Flutter on this machine, and it's a new computer. It's an Apple 14 inches MacBook Pro. It has the M2 chip, and we'll see how to install Flutter on this. If you have not seen my previous video on installing on the MacBook Pro M1 Pro, you can check the link in the description to see that. And apologies for the audio because I'm recording on the new machine, nothing installed. And so let's get started. Okay, so we are on flutter.dev, and let's see. I just want to see how easy it is to set up on a new machine. Okay, so if you're installing on an app, you must have Rosetta, and let's see if the instructions are correct because we are on Apple Silicon. So let's see. I'm just gonna add my password here, and yeah, it is installed. So let's go ahead. It wants us to download the following SDK. So I'm going to go ahead and download this one. It's going to download, and we need to extract the file into our desired location, and then we are going to add the Flutter tool to our path by running this command, and then I guess it should work. Okay, so we have a couple of things to install here. So let's install Xcode. Yeah. And I like to install Android Studio as well. So I'm going to go ahead to install Android Studio. Do we want to download from the Mac Store or from the website? I found the website a lot easy to do. Let me just download from the Mac Store. Open the Mac Store and just get it. Okay, that is downloading. We have this one downloaded already, so let's download the latest one. We read and we download the one with the, yeah. So it's going to download, and I like to first set up the Android Studio, and because it's easy to do from there. So when I pull up Android Studio, I'm going to download the SDK on the Android itself. So when I want to run the project, it's going to ask me for the SDK link, which I'm going to provide. So let's do that. And then I can go ahead and click on open. And I'm going to drag the Android Studio into my applications, like copy that. Yes, I can close this, and I can bring up my here all my applications, and it's going to open. So I'm going to click on do not import settings. So it's going to then send next standard installation, like the dark frame, and it wants to install all this. So we need to accept 100 license. I think we've accepted all of them. So we can click on finish. This is going to download a couple of stuff. Okay, so it's done, and we can click on finish. So let's try to create a new project. And before we create a new project, once I'm on this window, I can click on File at the top, and I can do Manage. I think so. Let's see. I can go on Settings. So here, if you click on Android Studio at the top left, it's going to show your settings. And I want to go to Pub Plugins. So in these plugins, I'm going to look for Dart SDK, and I can install that. And I can install Flutter as well. So I can just search Flutter here. So I can restart the IDE. It's gonna recognize. So you can see it's showing new Flutter project. So I'm going to call it hello. And it's going to ask you where. Now it's going to ask you for an XDK path. So this is where we come back here. So we have a zip file here, and if we unzip that zip file, it has all the Flutter folder. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that folder, and I want to create a folder development. So let's bring terminal, and then we do a cd to development. So there is no folder like this, so we can go to our Finder, and I can go to users. I can go to this user, and in here I can create a new folder called development. So if I go to my terminal and try to cd, you can see that I have it. So from my Finder here, I can easily just so let me open a new to my downloads, and I can easily just drag this into development. So I can enter development and then just unzip that folder. So it's going to have the Flutter. Now that it has, I can delete this and move it to this to the trash, and then I can open up Android Studio and try to locate it. So let's go to users, Emulator, and let's go to developments. Okay, so let's go to instruction here. We need to point the path. Let's see, on Android. I need to set the path to, okay, I just point it to Flutter, just open it, and just click on next. It wants to install Git, my computer. Saying I don't have, but that doesn't stop us, and we can call this hello. And then, oh, okay, so it's creating a Flutter project, and it has created it actually super fast. And there's no devices. So we need to set up our Android devices. So let's go to the instruction again, and we can set up your Android device and using a USB cable. Set up Android emulator, launch Android Studio, click on AVD Manager. So if you go to the top here, I'm not sure if we can see it. We try to find AVG Manager. It will be like your device manager. Okay, in the device manager, you can create a device and we can pick any phone. I'm going to pick the Pixel XL. So we need a system image. So you need to download one. So let's go for the API 33 and we need to accept all of this. It's going to download like about 1.5 gig. That should be fast. So it's done and we can click on finish and then we can go ahead to create the and then we can just run it. So it's gonna run here. We are going to send a bit and yeah, it's opening. So once it's done, we can see that we can select the device at the top here and then we can just run. Oh, okay. So it wants us to download Java runtime. That's strange because it should have downloaded with it. So, but let's see if we can do that. So we downloaded it and we are running. And if we click on that, you can install. I'm gonna enter my password. I'm gonna install. And let's check upon our Android on our Xcode. Xcode should be done, almost done. I think it's installing. So yeah, it's installing Java. Okay. I finished installing, and let's see if we can close Android Studio and bring it up back again. And then let's run this emulator. Okay, it's running. And let's wait for project to recognize, and it does, and then we can run. Now there is a problem here, so let's just copy that to our terminal. For Xcode, I'm gonna type agree. Okay, I think I've done that, and it's looking for my password again. Yeah. Okay, that should solve the problem for iOS, although it is still okay. It's done, so I can open Xcode. Okay. So let's go to our terminal and do Flutter doctor. I cannot find it because we've not added it to the path. So we're just gonna do cd development, and we can set the path to this. I can do Flutter doctor, and it's going to see Flutter, which is good. So we're going to see all the issues with, okay. So now we have this couple of issues and we need to solve them. CocoaPods is not installed. Just a bit, okay. So let's do this. So we need to update to the latest Android SDK. What do we do that? Let's go. Let's go settings and bounded Java like this. So I want to see if I can fix it. So this answer is saying on Mac, go to Finder. So let's go to our Finder. And we go to find Android Studio here. And then we right click on it and show package contents. So we are told to create a folder and call it JRE, and we copy the content of JBR. Let's copy that and put in paste here. So it says it works. Okay, so copy the files in JBR to. So let's run Flutter Doctor again. Let's see. It doesn't. Copy the files in. Let's see. Does this go in here? Let's see again. Let's go again. It seems to work. So apparently we need to create a folder JRE and put the JPR there. And it sort of fix our Java issue. And if we go to Android Studio, let's try to run it again. And let's see if we have the same issue. Okay, so installing. And it's finished installing this. So while that is happening, I need to open a simulator because Xcode is done. Okay, so these are also built Flutter applications to our emulator, and we are good to go for Android. So it works. Let's see for simulator, and I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to select our simulator, and then I'm going to run. And let's see if it works for iOS. We still need to fix some errors here. let me run this again. So Android is actually iOS is actually working, so we don't have issue with that. So we just need to fix our Android SDK and we are good to go. But it's running, so I think we can figure that out later. But what I want to do is, some of you use Visual Studio Code. So let's install on Visual Studio Code. I'm a fan of Visual Studio Code. So we done downloading, and I can open. Before I do that, I need to drag it into applications, and then I can find it here. Where is it? Okay, it's here. So where are you? Listen, for some reasons doesn't want to open. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we go to extension and we install, let's say we install Flutter, and it's going to install. And let's go to Dart. Let's see if that, okay, Dart is also installed. And right, so if we want to create a new folder, a new project, we can just do Flutter new project. Now it's saying we should locate the SDK, so we're going to locate development Flutter set Flutter SDK. Okay, so we can create a new application. Let's create that in our documents, and we can call it Flutter application 1, and it's creating the project. Yes, and if you look here, I'm gonna shrink this a bit. If you look here, you can see that it's showing iOS simulator. So let us kill the simulator here, the project here, so that we can run our new project. You can see, you can select Pixel and the iPhone 14 Pro Max like we did, and we can just do run. So it's running Xcode build. I can put this to the side, and it's super fast. Bingo. And we have our Flutter application. We are good to go. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful, and make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for more videos. Bye bye.